If you think Greek food is amazing, wait until you try our desserts. Most people know baklava and maybe loukoumades, but Greece has an entire world of sweet traditions, flavors and family recipes that go way beyond that. Hi, I'm Chrysula, a local here in Greece, and today I'm taking you through the most iconic traditional Greek desserts, the ones you can find in bakeries, at celebrations, at Easter and Christmas, or served by a yaya who refuses to let you leave the house hungry. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to order, what makes each sweet special, and which desserts locals truly love. So let's dive in. Let's start with the one everyone knows, baklava. This classic dessert is made from layers of buttery filo pastry filled with chopped nuts, usually walnuts or pistachios, and soaked in a rich honey syrup flavored with cinnamon and cloves. When it's fresh, it has that perfect crunch that makes every bite addictive. And if you love that combination of warm syrup and crispy filo, wait until you see what's next. Galaktoboureko is a Greek classic, the king of custard desserts. Imagine a silky vanilla-scented semolina custard wrapped in crispy filo pastry and soaked in lemon-infused syrup. The contrast between the flaky top and the creamy inside is just perfect. Every region has its own version, but everywhere you go, you will see people ordering it warm, because that's when it tastes the best. But maybe you prefer something light, airy and easy to eat with one hand. In that case, Greece has the fun dessert coming up next. Loukoumades are Greek honey donuts, tiny golden balls of fried dough, crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside. Traditionally, they are drizzled with honey and sprinkled with cinnamon and crushed walnuts, but today you will find them filled with chocolate, pistachio cream, salted caramel, you name it. Still, the classic honey version is unbeatable. They are served hot, they are addictive, and they are a favorite street food dessert for kids and adults. And speaking of special textures, our next dessert looks nothing like what you expect. Kataifi is one of the most unique traditional Greek desserts. You will recognize it immediately by its appearance. It's made with extremely thin strands of shredded filo dough that are wrapped around a nut filling, baked and then soaked in syrup. The texture is incredible, crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside, and full of sweet, nutty flavor. You will find it all over Greece, especially in bakeries around holidays. But now let's move to a dessert that is much simpler. No fancy shapes, no layers, just a soft, comforting cake that melts in your mouth. Ravani is a semolina cake soaked in syrup. It's airy, moist, lightly sweet and often flavored with orange, lemon, coconut or masticha depending on the region. It's a kind of dessert you eat after a big meal because it's not too heavy and it balances sweetness perfectly. But if you want something more intense, more aromatic and more wintry, the next dessert is exactly that. Karydopita is a spiced walnut cake soaked in syrup. It's one of those desserts that makes the whole house smell warm and cozy. Cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, orange zest, sometimes brandy. It's usually served warm with a scoop of vanilla ice cream, which melts into the cake and creates the perfect combination. And speaking of warm aromas, the next dessert is full of bright citrus flavor and is one of the most uniquely Greek sweets you'll ever try. Portokalopita is not a pie in the traditional sense. It's made by tearing filo seeds into pieces, drying them and then mixing them into a creamy batter with Greek yogurt, eggs, sugar and an incredible amount of orange zest. It's juicy, vibrant, sweet and fragrant. You can smell it before you even take a bite. But now, let's leave everyday desserts behind and move into the holiday season, because Greek Christmas is dessert heaven. Melomakarona are soft, syrup-soaked Christmas cookies made with olive oil, honey, cinnamon and orange. They're topped with walnuts and have that warm, festive taste that instantly says December in Greece. Every family has its own recipe. Some make them crunchy, others soft. Some dip them in more syrup, some less. Some add chocolate, and yes, those are amazing too. And right next to Melomakarona, you will always find the other half of the Christmas duo. Kourabiedes are traditional Greek butter cookies with almonds, coated in a generous layer of powdered sugar. They're crumbly, melt in your mouth, rich and absolutely delicious. But there is one rule: do not breathe in while taking a bite. Every Greek knows this. We have all choked on powdered sugar at least once. And after all that sweetness, let's go to something warm, flaky and perfect for breakfast. Sweet Bougatsa is a classic Greek breakfast pastry. Warm phyllo, filled with creamy semolina custard, sprinkled with cinnamon and powdered sugar. You will find the best Bougatsa in northern Greece, especially in Thessaloniki and Ceres, but most bakeries across the country sell it fresh in the morning. It's simple, comforting and a great way to start your day. And from a warm, comforting classic, let's move to something lighter but just as traditional. Greek yogurt with honey and walnuts is one of the simplest and most iconic Greek desserts. Thick, creamy yogurt topped with sweet Greek honey and crunchy walnuts, refreshing, naturally sweet and not heavy at all. You will find it in tavernas and cafes everywhere, and it's a classic that tastes just as good as it looks. And now, from soft and creamy, let's switch back to crispy, but in a celebration style. Diples come from the Peloponnese and are traditionally served at weddings and celebrations. They're made by frying thin sweets of dough, folding them into shapes and dipping them in honey syrup. Crunchy, sweet and perfect with nuts and cinnamon on top. But our next dessert is completely different. Simple, humble, vegan-friendly and full of warm flavors. Halvas is one of the simplest desserts in Greece, but also one of the most comforting. It's made by slowly toasting semolina in oil, then adding warm syrup until it becomes soft, fragrant and full of cinnamon aroma. It's a dessert many families make at home during fasting periods or when they want something sweet without using dairy or eggs. Warm, humble and deeply traditional. And from soft semolina, we move to something chewy, nutty and very popular on the Greek islands. Amygdalota are almond cookies made with almond flour and egg whites, naturally gluten-free and full of sweet almond flavor. They are found in many regions, but especially in the Cyclades, where they are a traditional wedding treat symbolizing happiness. Light, fragrant and perfect with coffee. And now we arrive at one of the oldest Greek traditions, something every home used to make. Spoon sweets are fruits preserved in thick syrup, but unlike jam, the fruits stay whole, shiny and firm. Common flavors include sour cherry, fig, grape, orange peel and yes, even baby aubergines. They're served on a small plate with a glass of cold water or on top of Greek yogurt. This is true Greek hospitality. No home visit is complete without it. And finally, we end with a dessert that fills every bakery in Greece during Easter. Tsoureki is soft, fluffy braided Greek sweet bread flavored with mahlepi and masticha. These spices give it its unique aroma, slightly floral, slightly nutty. At Easter, it's decorated with a red egg, but you can find tsoureki all year round, sometimes filled with chocolate or chestnut cream. Greek desserts are so much more than sweets. They are memories, traditions and flavors that connect generations. From syrupy pastries to citrus pies, festive cookies and homemade treats, Greece has a dessert for every moment, every celebration, every season. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe for more Greece travel tips. Let me know in the comments what is your favorite Greek dessert. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!